The chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edu-Gyamfi, says there must be a collective effort at building a peaceful society. My regional correspondent Michael Dewonu with the details.
So that Ghana has just lost its place when it comes to most peaceful country in Africa. We are fortunate to be joined by the National Peace Council chairman to give us some briefing to what he makes of all these current happenings in Ghana.
Some of these things first are informed by perception. The more we talk on radio, we do all the agitation, we create unnecessary tension, it informs these ratings. Then we also see the threats that we begin to see, the armed robbery incidents, highway robbery, and all of those things that will happen in the country inform these things. Then we have some attacks on journalists that influences some of these things.
What has been the response, especially from the various stakeholders that you've been engaging, political parties and all other stakeholders that is involved in this peace building?
There's gradual stability coming into the political land space, and this has all been part of the interventions we've been putting in our relationship with the police, with the political parties. Currently we have a quarterly meeting with all the political parties. They come to our office, we sit, we dialogue, we talk about all the issues that are there. We do the best we can to help them to work among themselves. We also meet with the EC, we have meeting with the police, we do all of those interventions.
We are misusing the military in the sense that the military is not supposed to be interfacing with the civilians. And so the military should be the last point of call when it comes to our elections. We should be able to do with the police, policing our electoral system. The army is not supposed to be seen so often around the civilian population. And I think that is the reason why they are absent here. One key institution that is absent for me, and I'm concerned about, and I'll raise it in there, is about the absence of the Attorney General. Okay. This, when crime is committed, it's the only Attorney General who can prosecute. And I expect the Attorney General to be here, at least to see how serious the citizens are when it comes to these matters.
For the next 2 days here in Pram Pram, the National Peace Council, together with the Ghana Police, political parties and other stakeholders, are making sure that they are discussing the need for a peaceful Ghana. Currently, as we are told, Ghana has lost its place in the Global Peace Index to Senegal when it comes to a peaceful country in West Africa. But the Peace Council says it is not resting until they restore this lead. We will continue to observe proceedings here in Pram Pram and we report to our viewers. For GBC News, my name is Michael Dewonu, reporting from Pram Pram.
More than 400 suspects engaged in unlicensed online credit services have been apprehended in Accra. They were arrested during a swoop by a joint cybersecurity committee in the early hours of Monday, July 10, 2023. The culprits are on bail for now and assisting the authorities with investigations.
The National Computer Emergency Response Team, which sits within the authority, through its point of contact, has since December 2022 received over 270 reports of incidents ranging from cyberbullying, extortion, abuse of customer data and privacy, death threats, libel, and other related illegal activities. The CSA subsequently launched an investigation into these reported cases, identified 150 unlicensed applications involved, and shared these findings with relevant law enforcement agencies. Information and intelligence gathered from separate investigation conducted by the CSA, BOG, and YOCO were shared to help members understand the modus operandi of the operators of digital lending apps, which was to intimidate borrowers ahead of their loan payment dates by harassing them, in some cases with death threats, and threatening them with the distribution of their messages and sensitive information that they've been able to illegally acquire.
Investigations so far led to identification of 150 unlicensed digital loan platforms whose owners resort to the use of death threats, like Doctor indicated. So when they give you the loan, they tell you every week you have to pay a certain amount. And if you don't pay, because you have already given them access to your phone, every contact they have access to, so they start sending threatening text messages, and because they have access, pictures and other things that you have on your phone, they will publish and start threatening messages to the contacts that you have on your phone. In all, 654 mobile phones were retrieved, 22 laptops, computers, and 800 SIM cards were retrieved as part of the exercise.
The Bank of Ghana remains resolute in building a robust, resilient, and safe digital financial service industry, trusted by both local and international stakeholders. It has therefore established the requisite regulatory and supervisory systems to promote a digital financial service space of integrity that safeguards the interests of consumers.
Now, the Binduri Community Senior High School in the Upper East region has been temporarily closed. The students demanded the closure of the school over lack of food.
The students on Tuesday morning went on a peaceful protest over the shortage of food. The students said they have been studying on empty stomachs since 29th May 2023.
Our school, they have stopped cooking for us. They stopped cooking for us. That was 29th May. Up to date, they haven't started cooking for us. And we have sent it to the authorities, but there is no feedback. That's the reason why we are out here.
Our concern of this one, why we are not in school, but we are just roaming all over, is about our food matter. Because we are now to tell the government that if you cannot provide the food for us, you should rather close the school.
Yes. The aggrieved students in their uniforms came out in their numbers and tried to destroy the school's properties, but the timely intervention of the GES director, Mr. John Suka, and his officials brought the situation under control.
Please remain in your houses, and then we will meet. When we meet, by Monday, the petrol will be in, and then you can return back.
The school has temporarily been closed, and only the third-year students have been asked to stay in the school to complete their mock examination.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture has lifted the ban on the movement of ruminants and the consumption of meat in the Upper East region. The ban was imposed following the outbreak of anthrax in the region. A statement signed by Dr. Brian Achampon, the Minister of Food and Agriculture, said the situation had been contained with no recorded case of the disease since June 14, 2023. The statement said the ministry would strictly put in place measures to curb a resurgence. The statement emphasized that food vendors, restaurants and owners, as well as butchers whose meat and meat products were not supervised by the veterinary and environmental officers during slaughtering would be arrested. The ministry also advised the public not to consume meat of dead animals at all costs.
To leverage on technology in maximizing the profits from agriculture is high on the agenda of the 34th meeting of the Board of Directors of the West and Central Africa Council for Agricultural Research and Development underway in Accra. A three-day gathering of researchers from across the continent will harness the various scientific advancements to enable farmers to produce more and lose less.
For many years, efforts are being made to move away from the energy-intensive and often back-breaking tasks involved in agriculture to mechanization to make the sector more attractive and a choice for employment and entrepreneurship for the youth. At the 34th meeting of the Board of Directors of the West and Central Africa Council for Agricultural Research and Development, CORAF, researchers are discussing ways to enhance access to mechanization services, improve access to quality and affordable inputs such as seeds and fertilizers, and efficient irrigation.
To commemorate this ordinary session, CSIR decided that we would organize this one-day open day and exhibition to let our colleagues know what research and breakthroughs we are having, and to especially the donors and regional bodies.
Researchers are unanimous that there is an urgent need for agriculture mechanization to double agricultural productivity and eliminate hunger and malnutrition in Africa.
When you hear about CORAF, the first thing you notice, it is passion for help reduce poverty in West and Central Africa, for improving livelihoods of Africans, and for mobilizing resources for the economic and social development. This is what drives us to seek, interact, and cooperate with our member countries and with other countries around the world.
The Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Friye, urged the researchers to foster partnerships, share knowledge and facilitate the transfer of technology to ensure that farmers have access to the tools and techniques they need to thrive.
Let us foster partnerships, share knowledge and facilitate the transfer of technology to ensure that our farmers have access to the tools and techniques they need to thrive. By empowering our farmers with scientific know-how and modern agricultural practices, we can elevate their livelihoods, improve food security, and
CORAF works to increase the use of appropriate technologies and innovations for sustainable agricultural production across Africa. The African Agricultural Technology Foundation, AATF, has lauded the progress Ghana has made so far in commercializing the BT cowpea. Although the process has taken more than 12 years, the AATF is satisfied that at least the Ghana Biosafety Authority has cleared the BT cowpea as safe and is still undergoing further investigations and due process. The Executive Director of the AATF, Dr. Canisius Kanangiri, urged the public to disabuse their minds of the myths surrounding the biotech product. He insisted that they are safe to consume and has no future medical implications. Dr. Kanangiri spoke to Gloria Anderson on the sidelines of AATF's annual meeting.
African Agriculture Technology Foundation is concerned about farmers in the sub-Saharan Africa and providing them with practical technology solutions capable of addressing their farm productivity constraints and improving their livelihoods. It was founded in 2003 to address Africa's food security prospects through agricultural technology. AATF believes that the agriculture sector is a key foundational pillar as Africa consolidates its economic growth and carves out its new position as a major global economic powerhouse and the next growth market in the world. Scientists, researchers and project officers from Ghana, Burkina Faso, Niger and Nigeria are meeting to review projects executed in the last year and also plan for the next year. The Executive Director of AAT, Dr. Canisius Kanangiri, said an urgent challenge in the 21st century is ending hunger and malnutrition in sub-Saharan Africa, and the use of new technologies will be of great help to achieving this. He was satisfied that Ghana is making progress in this endeavor.
We are very happy and satisfied with the progress that Ghana is making, with the commitment that not only the researchers but also the policymakers are taking towards having the product available for the farmers, and we look forward to have the product commercialized in Ghana soon.
Dr. Kanangiri said he and other scientists have tested food dishes made from the BT cowpea and confirmed that it is safe for human consumption. He said the commercialization of the BT cowpea will ensure food safety and security.
There is misconception, there is misinformation, there is disinformation around biotech product in general and around BT cowpea. But I think in general, and we were discussing about that, we need to redouble our effort in creating awareness, in sharing knowledge, in giving confidence and trust to the stakeholders, consumers and our farmers through awareness campaigns.
Participants from the 5 countries will each review progress made in their various countries and together develop a roadmap to address challenges encountered.
Still on agriculture, now rice farmers in Ghana have welcomed new varieties of the crop introduced to them, and that the Courier Program for International Agriculture and the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research Partnership. The two working partners took the farmers to rice fields at the Dowenya irrigation site to assess at first hand what varieties suit their interests.
The Korean government works through the Korea Program for International Agriculture, KOPIA, to transmit agricultural techniques and funding to developing countries. A member of the G20, Korea aims to empower countries, and the operations of KOPIA reveal the objective of improving on agricultural productivity and food security in fragile economies. KOPIA's rice projects have funding to the tune of $30 million, and it is essentially geared towards research. It also provides other forward linkage interventions, such as the provision of rice warehouses and the training of farmers. Whilst the South Koreans have their own rice breeds in the mix, the other ones are largely products out of their partnership with CSIR Ghana. For Ghanaian scientific researchers, this is a welcome assistance, as funding is the critical component of the operational chain. Only 1% of GDP or thereabout is allocated for research by government, hence the increasing reliance on foreign donors to undertake their task to advanced levels. Some of the farmers who spoke to GBC News said the new rice varieties are boons in the sense that they are aromatic long grain that the market requires. Padded into this are early maturity of the varieties and tolerance to stress conditions.
We have chosen 4 out of the varieties. Our first one is Ajapa. The second one is Korea Omo. The third one is Amankwatia. And the fourth one is Jasmine 85. We selected this variety because of one, their cooking quality.
Our challenges is power tiller, harvester. We don't have milling machine too. If we harvest, we have to travel from Avoimo to Asituari before we go and mill it.
The country director of KOPIA Ghana, Dr. Chung Ho Kim, said the Korea Rice Program specifically aims to boost local production and reduce rice imports, and the process improves the earnings of local rice farmers called into action. It is reported that very small percentage of lands suitable or made suitable for rice farming are on irrigated lands. The rice farmers also say the unavailability of power tillers and combined harvesters renders their work tedious and limit actual output for the market. Napoleon Atukito reporting.
Inmates at the Senior Correctional Center in Accra will now have access to some digital educational programs to build on their knowledge base. This follows the presentation of a flat-screen television set with a 1-year full subscription to DSTV programs. The gesture from the MultiChoice Group forms part of their 30th anniversary in Ghana and the provision of value programming to their audiences.
Over the past 3 decades, MultiChoice Ghana's products, DSTV and GoTV, have become a household name in the country. Through its innovative services, the company has brought to its audience thrilling and compelling media content across all its platforms, from entertainment, education, culture and lifestyle. As part of activities commemorating 30 years and promoting diverse local content, officials donated some items to their Senior Correctional Center in Accra. This includes a presentation of a television set and a 1-year full DSTV subscription to the center. This is to help inmates build on their knowledge through educative programs. The managing director of MultiChoice Ghana, Mr. Alex Ochri, said MultiChoice is committed to creating values in the lives of all.
There are areas like training of installers, which we can help and collaborate with the management team here to train the inmates here on installation. That is one quick area where we can create jobs for them after their training here. We have a lot that comes in terms of our local content and what we are doing in the local movie and film industry. So Today, if you ask a lot of the movie producers in Ghana, they will tell you they have a lot of jobs because we are commissioning them, we're bringing a lot of local content to consumers.
The officer in charge of IT at the Senior Correctional Center, DSP Abbas Bio Sama, thanked management of MultiChoice Ghana for their kind gesture. MultiChoice Ghana is a joint venture between local businessman Mr. Richard Darkon and the MultiChoice Group, which was established in 1993.
Court has taken over the trial between the Republic, Dr. Stephen Opuni, and businessman Seydou Agongo and his company, Agricults Ghana.
The new court, presided over by Justice Aboagye Tandor, has directed the prosecution and lawyers for the former boss of Cocoa Board, Dr. Stephen Opuni, to get the record of proceedings from the previous court to allow for the continuation of the trial.
The trial of the former Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, Dr. Stephen Opuni, and businessman and boss of Agricults Ghana Limited, Alhaji Seydou Agongo, began on March 26, 2019, after they were charged with 27 counts, including willfully causing financial loss to the state and contravention of the Public Procurement Act in the purchase of Lithovit liquid fertilizer between 2014 and 2016. The previous trial judge, Justice Retired Clemens Honyanuga, could not bring the case to a close after his 6-month extension ended in March 2023. Following his retirement, the case was transferred to Justice Kwesi Anoche Ejima, who refused a request by the state to adopt the previous proceedings. The state successfully appealed against the decision at the Court of Appeal, which overturned the decision of the High Court. A new court, headed by Justice Aboagye Tandor, has taken over the case from Justice Anoche. Lawyer for Dr. Opuni, Mr. Samuel Kujo, informed the court that the defense is appealing the ruling by the Court of Appeal not to start the trial afresh at the Supreme Court. Justice Aboagye Tandor, however, indicated that the supposed appeal at the Supreme Court is yet to be filed on the docket. He stated that there is no order restraining him from continuing with the trial and accordingly adjourned to July 25, 2023 for the proceedings to be adopted by the parties to pave the way for a continuation of the trial.
We are back with more stories. Please don't go away.
Piccadilly Choco Cookies, made with the finest Ghanaian cocoa. Now introducing Piccadilly Butter Cookies, a new addition to the Piccadilly family.
This advert is FDA approved.
Every child needs support to develop emotionally, socially, and physically. Early childhood development is the way to go and the will to do. I will take all SP doses to enjoy a malaria-free pregnancy. I will give my child only breast milk for the first 6 months. It's the only food and water my child needs. At 7 months, I will give my child the right food containing the right nutrients and in the right quantity to help my child develop. I will allow my child to be immunized against all the childhood diseases for additional protection. I will take good care and show love to my child with a disability and give the child equal opportunity in life. I will ensure I give my child a great start to life and the best education for a brighter future. I will correct my child with love and ensure their safety and protection at all times. I will support the optimal development of children in their early childhood So should you.
88 out of 88. It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 out of 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 out of 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and to by email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 out of 88.
Time now for business, brought to you by MTN. The Ghana Trade Fair Company is seeking additional individual investors as the company redevelops to position Ghana as trade hub of Africa. Under the new development strategy, the Trade Fair Company will service the land for private developer to put up hotels, retail malls, and other facilities that support trade fairs. Already, Zimbabwean billionaire Strive Masiyiwa has secured a piece of the site for the construction of a US-sponsored data center.
At the Trade Fair site in Accra, construction work has begun. The Trade Fair Company is constructing access roads, drainage systems, and a robust traffic management architecture. This will set the stage for interested private developers to put up hotels, malls, and other ancillary trade fair infrastructure. The Ghana Trade Fair site has been in a state of disrepair for decades. Unlike in previous development strategies where the company sought a single developer to revamp the whole site, the area will now be leased to as many private developers as possible.
Trade Fair Company is servicing the entire site and then leasing out or partnering with your company to develop the components. When you come on board, you can bring a hotel investor group and then develop the hotel. If you have capacity to also develop the mall, sure, we can say you develop also the mall.
Speaking at an investor conference in Accra, Minister of Finance Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta said the renewed development drive is in line with the country's quest to derive maximum benefits from the AfCFTA.
So what we are doing here has deeper manifestations in our capacity to let Ghana be the attraction for the region. So the enhancements of this redevelopment project, we really, at least on us at the Ministry of Finance, appreciates its interlinkages and what it will do for the country as an investment hub.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Trade Fair Company, Dr. Agnes Edu, is happy with the level of investor interest so far.
We are very excited at the level of interest that investors have shown from the beginning and even now, coming back after COVID stopped our operations for so long, coming back to the project, we see that the investors that came on board are still here, and then those new ones who just heard about the project have also joined us.
Finance Minister Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is hopeful government will secure the second tranche of the deal of $600 million in September after satisfying all conditions necessary for the disbursement of the funds.
A very difficult period. As you know, July last year, as a country, we're really unsure of the direction that we're going to be going. Clearly, we all worked very hard, and by May 17th, we had received the fund approval. But there's going to be continuing sacrifices because liquidity is a problem, and we must, as a nation, as I mentioned, begin to understand and speak one language in this period in which we are trying to rebuild to get back into sort of stability. As you can see, there's quite a bit of confidence coming in. Inflation, of course, was 50-something% last year. It's coming down. a bit stability in the currency, which is good for us. In terms of the reserves, that has also been good. The growth rate was 4.2%. That was higher than we expected, which is indicative of. And then the banks too, the first quarter had very good results. You know, we had an IMF visit maybe 3 weeks ago. That went well. The review will happen in September. And so far, you know, between Parliament and Cabinet, we've gone through most of the qualitative performance criteria. So we expect that the review in September will go well to get an SLA, and then we will go to the board in November and further whilst we are doing the budget.
Let's now look at the performance of the local forex and the commodities market board. That's it for business, brought to you by MTN.
It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 at 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 at 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and by email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 at 88.
Hello, good evening. Let's do some energy news stories. To our first story, the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, wants answers to the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG's 540 million cedis discretionary spending despite tight liquidity concerns within the power sector. A statement from ACEP says the power distribution company spent 540 million cedis out of the 1.1 billion cedis it retrieved from consumers in March and April this year under the ongoing debt recovery exercise without justification.
ASEP says there are serious challenges in the power sector and government is making effort to settle about $1.9 billion in debt to independent power producers IPPs. This is due to the ECG's inability to effectively collect revenues from the power it sells to consumers. ECG embarked on a debt recovery campaign to collect about $5.7 billion owed by power consumers, but only managed to get some 3.1 billion cedis. ASEP asserts that per the cash waterfall mechanism CWM, all revenues should be appropriately accounted for and distributions should be carried out based on approved proportions determined by the CWM committee. But reports from the CWM indicate that ECG's earnings from the 2 months being the 1.1 billion cedis, representing approximately 35% of the 3.1 billion cedis claimed to have been recovered by ECG. Out of this amount, ASEP said about 50% of the reported revenue is supposedly captured as being used for discretionary spending by ECG. The balance from the 1.1 billion cedis accounted for only representing about 11% of revenue requirement for the sector under the CWM for March and April 2023. ASEP in its latest report on the power sector says the ECG indicated that it used 540 million cedis to procure liquid fuel for some power plants during shortfalls in gas supply while refusing to pay the gas suppliers through the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation GNPC. ASEP therefore concluded that for ECG to ignore all the realities and pay for liquid fuel while undermining gas supply shows the company does not care about the fiscal damage it causes to the public purse.
The Chief Executive of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, AOMCs, Mr. Kweku Agyeman-Duah, has cautioned oil marketing companies, OMCs, adulterating their petroleum products to increase the quantity to make profit to desist from such act. Some OMCs allegedly add petroleum naphtha to their fuel to increase the quantity and also sell at very low price to attract more consumers to their pumps. Mr. Agyeman-Duah said, the OMCs, the association will not show any of its members who is caught engaging in fuel adulteration.
Oh, those ones are minimal. I mean, they're minimal. I would say that it's a human institution, and everybody's looking for money. You should expect the evil unexpected. Until you are caught, we can't say that you are excellent. So it happens. As there's a way, it happens. So if you are caught, fine. We're not going to go bid for you as an association because we have our rules, headlines which oppose those kind of characters. So we really don't support that because you will destroy somebody's engine. And where we find ourselves in Ghana now, somebody buys a car, Charlie, it's not easy.
Now, total national generation was 62.5072 gigawatt hours within the last 24 hours. Here are some key national statistics on electricity generation within the last 24 hours. Health News is up next. Thanks for watching.
The show was a jar or bar anyone concurrent dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria.
Injeja woman malaria and kawon to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cup.
And now you may kiss.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem. FDA agitated in Kratway at
GBC at 88, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
Now, the foreign France, G7 members are expected to ratify a wide-ranging security pact with Ukraine at the NATO summit on Wednesday. The security arrangement with Ukraine comes after its president, Volodymyr Zelensky, raged against NATO's reluctance to offer Kiev a time frame for joining the alliance.
The security arrangement will include defense equipment, training and intelligence sharing. And UK Prime Minister said it will send a strong signal to Russian President Vladimir Putin. G7 leaders will sign the declaration in Vilnius on Wednesday on the sidelines of the second day of a NATO defense summit. Speaking ahead of a meeting with President Zelensky, Mr. Sunak said the allies were ramping up their formal agreements to protect Ukraine for the long term. British officials said the UK had played a leading role in the agreement involving G7 partners, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the US. President Joe Biden earlier suggested a module for Ukraine similar to his country's agreement with Israel. Under the deal, Washington has committed to providing $3.8 billion in military aid per year over a decade. The G7 announcement comes after NATO said Ukraine will join the military alliance when allies agree and conditions are met. A delay President Zelensky has called absurd.
The Sudanese health authorities say that 34 people, including children, have been killed by what they describe as random shelling of a market in the city of Omdurman. It is not yet clear who carried out the attack on Tuesday. On Saturday, 45 people were killed in an airstrike in the city, which lies across the River Nile from the capital, Khartoum. Fighting between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces has been going on for 3 months. More than 3,000 people have been killed. We take a breather, please stay.
GBC at 88, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
Every Wednesday at 9:05 a.m. live on GBC News.
Good evening, let's talk sports. I am Theophilus Sampa. The National Rugby Sevens men and women's teams have
presented their medals and trophies won at the recently held Rugby Africa Sevens tournament in Botswana and Zimbabwe to the leadership of the National Sports Authority. The women's team won 4 out of 5 matches to place second in the tournament held in Lusaka, Zambia. They have sealed qualification to the final stage of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games qualifiers.
Wherever you are, victory. Follow you.
These are the gallant members of the National Rugby Sevens men and women's teams, the Eagles. They have visited to the office of the Director General of the NSA, Professor Peter Twumasi, was to officially present their recent trophies and medals won at the Rugby Africa Men's Sevens Championship in Botswana and the Women's Sevens in Lusaka, Zambia. The women hoisted the flag of Ghana higher in their 2024 pre-Paris Olympic Games qualifiers. The Eagles, led by Zimbabwean tacticians Lovemore Dallas Kuzerera and Jeffrey Chwanda, and Rugby Africa Women's Advisory Board member Rafa Tuinusa, surprised pundits of the game. They opened their campaign with a 24 points to 12 win over Cote d'Ivoire. They silenced a strong Burkina Faso side with 24 points to 0 win and wrapped up day one with an impressive comeback win of 19 points to 15 over favourite Zimbabwe. On the second day, the Queens of Ghana Rugby made a bold statement, beating a well-rehearsed DR Congo side 45 points to 0 in their semi-final game. In the final playoff game, injury robbed the Eagles of the needed energy to go for the ultimate, as they lost 26 points to 5 to pick the second place ticket. The team manager of the side, Rafa Tuinusa, described the competition as challenging but kept their focus to seal qualification to the final round. The head of technical at the National Sports Authority, Mr. Kwame Ampumfi Jr., praised the teams for their efforts despite challenges on the local scene. He praised the president of Africa Rugby and leader of Ghana Rugby, Mr. Herbert Mensah.
Appreciating all the nuances of what they have been experiencing in the system, but still not being perturbed and focusing on the development of the sport and going out there to perform, more or less to qualify in this Grand Star. We are grateful. It's the mandate you've given to the technical department that she's also championing.
Head coach of the side, Lovemore Kuzerera, said with support, the team can qualify for the first time to the Olympic Games.
Coming into your office, it's a big honor for us and the players. It really means a lot to us because it shows that you are also paying attention even to the lesser sports, and we appreciate that. This team is comprised of girls who came from nearly each province in Ghana. They played for themselves, they played for the nation, they played for the team and everybody.
The Director General of the National Sports Authority, Professor Peter Twumasi, urged the Eagles to prepare well ahead of the final leg of their qualification process.
We are very much appreciative of the work that you keep on doing, putting the name of Ghana on the world, the global platform. We are so grateful to you. Today we offer 10,000 Ghana to you as a token of our appreciation, and say that all other traveling and other competitions that we will participate in, let the National Sports Authority receive those kind of requests. And we'll continue to make also some support as we have been doing over the years.
The Queens of Ghana Rugby have joined Zambia and Zimbabwe as the 3 qualified teams for the final stages of the qualifiers for the Olympic Games in France next year. The final qualification tournament will be held in Tunisia from the 14th to the 15th of October 2023. The 3 countries will join South Africa, Tunisia, Uganda, Madagascar and Kenya to slug it out for Africa's representation at the Paris 2024 Olympics. German international Antonio Rudiger has visited Ghana lower tier side Shooting Stars FC ahead of their 2023 Euro Tour. The Division 2 side is slated to travel out of Ghana on Saturday 15th of July for a 3-week tour of Germany, Spain and Norway.
Germany and Real Madrid defender Antonio Rudiger is in Accra for a vacation after a long season with the Spanish Giants. Rudiger, who landed in Accra on Sunday, has a series of activities to engage in before returning to Europe for pre-season. Rudiger had a mentorship session with the young players of lower tier side Shooting Stars FC ahead of the 2023 Euro Tour. He encouraged them to seize the opportunity while in Europe and spark up their football career.
This is a big opportunity, you know, like it can be a life-changing for you. So that's why go there, be humble, work, and yeah, just smash it, Like just when you play against those guys, it's not a friendly match, So show them what you are about, that you want to be in their place or even better. So that's why I wish you best of luck and stay healthy, and inshallah you will make it.
You've been at Madrid, their training ground and everything. What were the steps that you saw? What are the things that you've seen that you think we can inculcate here in our system to also help us?
Clear is organization. Organization is key to everything. This is what I believe.
Rudiger says although his roots directly make him a Sierra Leonean by origin, he still has a deep connection with Ghana and Africa as a whole.
The Ghana Tug of War Federation, in collaboration with Dreamland Sports Plus, has organized this year's Edina Bakatui CCT Tug of War Championship. New Parliament emerged the overall winners.
Away from hardcore news, let's enlighten our environment with some art and entertainment news. I am Hagar Owusu, and to our first story, it's GBC's 88th month, and the art and entertainment desk is walking you back in time to those days, the days when we dished out variety of entertainment back to back to back. GBC's Clubhouse was the event center for this program, which was one of GBC's in-house productions, sent directly to the comfort of your homes. This is TV Fan Splash. As they say, when we were there was never a dull moment on GTV. From the weekdays to the weekend and right back again. After a stressful week, GBC's Clubhouse was the place to be. Friends and family came together to wine and socialize. Many passed by GBC's Clubhouse to enjoy, relax and have a good time on TV Fan Splash. Some talents also cut their teeth on this platform, from acrobats through to drummers and musicians. TV Fan Splash also served as a workout ground as many danced their stress and love handles away. Let's go around the world of art and entertainment and bring you some tidbits.
Nollywood actress Cynthia Okereke has passed away. In a post made by her colleague Joseph Okechukwu on Twitter, revealed that a renowned actress died on Tuesday, July 11, 2023. The actor, in his heartfelt write-up, eulogized the actress, whom he had known for over 20 years, expressing shock over the news. Cynthia Okereke was a popular actress known for her numerous roles in Nollywood movies, so this news comes as shock to her fans. The wife of late Nigerian music icon Sound Sultan is on social media with a heartfelt post in remembrance of her husband. The Nigerian singer died on July 11, 2021 after battling with cancer. 2 years on, his family, friends and fans are honoring his memory on social media. His wife, Farida Fasasi, posted a video of the star on Instagram in his natural element, smiling, singing and dancing as he loved to do. Two-Face Ndibia also made a post in remembrance of his friend on Instagram with the caption, "Mourn you till I join you." Grammy Awards couple Cardi B and Offset have surprised their young daughter Culture on her birthday with luxurious Hermès Birkin 25 bag worth $20,000. Culture's birthday celebration was a lavish affair, complete with feathered dress and her own Birkin bag. The iconic Birkin bag, named after Jane Birkin, is renowned for its exclusivity and can range in price from $5,000 to a staggering $500,000.
That's all for the art and entertainment segment of the news.
Many thanks for your company. My name is Mela Forte.
Mine is Clara Mlanu. Have a good evening.
Follow us on our social media handles. Facebook at GTV Ghana.